I'm In with the ARCC is brought to you by StoredTech, your technology, our passion. And now, here's your host for I'm In with the ARCC, Amanda Blanton.
Welcome to I'm In with the ARCC. Thanks for joining us today. I am your host, Amanda Blanton, Vice President, Marketing and Communications for the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce. And today I am being joined by the Kris Brunelle. He's the CEO, founder, and head of Grime Control for White Glove Service. Kris, welcome to the show.
Hey, Amanda. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I got to tell you, Kris, you've been in my orbit for a few years now. You've been an amazing ambassador for the Chamber. You've been an amazing part of our Veterans Business Network. But the best part, I think, about knowing you is watching your business grow over the years. You are a person who consistently shows up with a positive attitude, and I know you show up for your team that way, for your clients that way, but it's been really cool to just watch the business evolve.
It's really great to be able to show up in that way for my team and for the Chamber. It's really easy when there's so much positivity around. It's something that's really, really done so much for us, and I wanted to give back,
I love that. That's really cool. It's, it's not that you don't see it often, but I love the consistency that you show up that way all the time. And anytime, because we all have our days, right? Anytime I've seen someone maybe going through it and you have an opportunity to change that for them, you do. You show up and you're like, hey, you know what? That's not great, but maybe we can do this instead. And you're like that, I don't know what to call it, but you're like that little glimmer of light in a dark room.
That's a good way of putting it. I've been blessed or cursed with eternal optimism.
That's great.
So everything can be good depending on how you look at it.
Absolutely. That's so cool. So cool. So I know I've had you on the show before, but I'd like to go back because I love hearing the story about how you started White Glove Service. Also, there's been an evolution. You've been growing at a rate, right? A pretty fast rate. It's very exciting. We're going to be celebrating this growth with a ribbon cutting very, very soon. So we're excited about that. But can you take us back to maybe the day when this idea was in your head and you're like, I think I'll go for it.
Yeah. So I've always kind of wanted to own a business. I've watched business owners that I've worked for, and I've kind of noticed things that I would do differently.
Yeah.
And so I found myself in sales jobs, and I really loved that because I could connect with people.
Ooh.
And I found that if I didn't talk about what I had to talk about for as long as I could, we could connect and then we could build the trust, and then the sale would come.
Yep.
The downside of selling for other companies is I had absolutely zero say in what the final result was. I said everything they told me to say. I believed everything they told me. And then it turns out that they weren't right.
Yeah.
They didn't treat their customers like that. And then I couldn't be part of it. And then I had to start all over somewhere else. And yes, I got to take my skills with me. But it was very, very frustrating. I sold a lot of different things. My last sales position was Aflac, and I really, really believed in the product, and I still do. Insurance was really hard to get into, especially at the time. I was super, super busy. We had a couple foster girls in addition to my daughter when she was very, very young.
Yeah.
So at the time, we had 3 girls under 3, and if anybody is questioning that, yes, that was completely insane. We still continue to foster on more of a respite basis, and that's kind of a nice thing. But at the time, Aflac didn't work out for me because of the timing in my life.
Sure.
And so I wanted to start my own thing, and I decided that I'm just going to go start cleaning my friends' houses.
Okay.
During the time that we had the foster girls, we had hired a cleaner to come in because every single day was everything that we had, and we just didn't have time to get to all the things.
Sure.
And that was just such a blessing in our lives. So I knew that I could do that. My dad always said that a man with a truck can always make money. And what I took from that is use your resources to really do what you can with what you've got. And so in that, I decided to do some research, and I went to YouTube University, and I learned everything I could about cleaning. I had experience from cleaning in the past with my military experience. If you didn't pass your white glove inspection, you had to do a lot more cleaning and a lot more junky stuff, and it just wasn't fun. So I learned how to effectively clean, and at the same time I was learning how to lead. The way that they taught to lead, I really loved. It was very inclusive. It was I was blown away by how solid the leadership actually was. To give somebody in charge of 600 people is a monumental task, but if you break that down into smaller chunks, everybody can lead 3 people.
Yeah.
And so you've got 3 fire team members and 3 fire teams in a squad and 3 squads in a platoon, all the way up to 600 people.
Right.
So I took that small unit leadership and I tried to grow that.
Do you mind if I ask, what age range were you serving in the military?
So I went in a little later.
Okay.
I was about 21, 22.
Okay. But still a young man, right?
Yeah.
And just taking all that in, that's a lot.
Yeah. I spent some time bombing around town, and then we were kind of looking at the 2008 kind of market.
Oh, yeah,
dump,
we all
and
remember
I'm like,
that, yeah.
I really need to have a contractually obligated job, and that was kind of my winner there. And I was a CB, so I built for the Navy, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Most of it, anyways.
No, I totally get it. I think, I've had quite a few veterans on this show, too, and a lot of them do look back at those leadership skills that they were able to, witness and practice and develop. I think that is a unique experience, truly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely unique. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I don't know that I'd do it again, but I would definitely not trade it for anything.
Right. That's totally fair.
So while I was working for AFLAC, since AFLAC was a chamber member, I went to the Veteran Business Network Mixer, and I was welcomed. And since then, that was kind of one of the first things I did when I got a couple bucks, is I got myself a chamber membership.
Nice.
And I went to every single ribbon cutting and every single event because, if you own a business, chances are you might need my services.
Sure.
And on top of that, I found that the chamber was such a solid network. I did the numbers a while back, and I got to redo them again because it's more now. But it was 40% of my book of business was from chamber, a total of 60%, just from relationships.
Yeah,
and the chamber.
It always goes back to relationships, which you were hinting at a few minutes ago. Yeah. And
it's not even just for sales. I've gotten so much more from the chamber, from just being able to have a drink with your competition and chew the cud.
Yeah.
And to be able to commiserate with everything that's going on and to find people to help with my needs.
Absolutely.
From everything from my marketing. I use Chuck Copenspire. He does great work.
Yes.
My fractional CFO, Alex Bodenzeek with ABB Taxes. I do so much work with Funky Solutions and Hunt Companies and so many different businesses. It's such a great group.
It's all about collaboration.
Collaboration.
Right? Yeah.
One of the pillars.
I know, one of the pillars. Kris, you're so good. But I love this for you because you're also very vocal about it, right? Like, you're not hiding these partnerships. You're telling the world that this is what we all should be doing. We need to be working together because you as a business owner can't do it all. You're not going to do your books. You're not going to do your marketing. You're not going to manage your team. You're not going to quite literally put on the gloves and start cleaning. You can't do all that and raise a family, right? At the same time. So
there's definitely many hats, and I absolutely do actually put on gloves. I was actually cleaning this morning.
I believe it.
Yep. If we get call outs or anything like that, I've got no qualm about actually cleaning. I started it because I enjoyed the catharsis in cleaning, and as I was cleaning, I realized that I can't be the only one who likes cleaning.
Yes. You're looking at one of them. I am also a person who likes cleaning. Yes, we do exist.
having a place to put everything in order, I think is good for your soul.
Yeah, absolutely. So, sorry, I feel like we derailed a bit, but I did want to talk about that collaboration piece because I think it has contributed to the business growth, right? All these partners that you get to work with on a daily basis. Your marketing is incredible.
Thanks.
Shout out to Chuck again because they're doing the good work, right?
Yep. Collaboration, and that's the biggest thing. Is Ava Cannon always says a rising tide lifts all the ships.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're doing something special here in the Glens Falls area.
Yeah.
And I think it's directly because of the chamber. We're getting together, we're collaborating, we're making this a way cooler area. And I never really imagined myself in this space. I just wanted to clean and support my family.
Sure.
But turns out there's more.
You're building an empire.
Yeah, we're trying. But please don't feed into my megalomania.
Sorry.
It becomes a problem at some point.
Sorry, Kris. The fact that you can admit it, though, is a great thing. Yes.
Yeah, understanding is the first step, right?
Absolutely. You were getting us through the story of how you started the business, and then I interrupted you. That's what I do. But I think we're getting there. So can you take us to the beginning of White Glove Service? And I want to talk about the growth because I think it's just incredible that things, every time I get an update from you, I'm like, wait, what? What are you doing? How are you doing this? This is amazing. Congratulations. All the things.
Thank you. So we started as White Glove Service was our LLC, and we had a DBA for White Glove Janitorial Service. And as we were growing and accumulating more commercial accounts, I had a bit of time to think about the direction that we were growing. I loved every single part of everything I did, which is a complete lie. But I really, if you're not having fun with things, then you're absolutely doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So I decided I identified some more areas. Everybody always asks me, do you do residential? Do you residential?
Right.
And I didn't. Even though I started as residential, I took and I focused more on commercial janitorial.
Okay.
When I did my research, I found a YouTuber and I took his master class, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And his message was basically be you. And that's what I learned from my sales is if you are yourself, then people will like to do work with you.
Yeah.
And so from there, now we have White Glove Residential Service because that's needed. And we also realized that we needed laundry service. Not just for our rags, which I calculated we were in the thousands of dollars a year in laundry service.
What were you doing with all the cleaning rags? Were you just like...
I took them over to the laundromat.
You did.
Yep.
You did what anybody else would do when they had that kind of laundry. Yeah.
And it was such a hassle. And I didn't want that in my home. I've got a daughter. And I don't want to wash my clothes in the same.
Sure.
So we took it to the laundromat. And I would go sometimes 3 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah, spending hundreds of dollars a week on laundry.
And not to mention the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes I didn't have time to make it to the laundromat, or if I forgot to drop it off, then I'd have to go buy more rags. And that was just such a pain. So I started the search for a location, and it took, believe me, so long.
Yeah.
You remember all the, I found one only for that to not work out, not be perfect. So there were some jurisdictional issues that I went through.
Okay.
And we also needed to find a perfect space for us.
Absolutely.
Which we landed on. It's 309 Bay Road in Queensbury. We're right next to La Cocina Mexican Restaurant.
Nice.
A very good friend of mine, Adam Root at Etched Valor.
Yeah.
It's nice to pop over and say hi, and we both enjoy motorcycles, and it's a good collaboration there.
That's cool. Good neighbor to have. Yeah.
He does all my signs, and I was actually surprised at the wide variety of things that he does.
Yes.
So if you've got something that you need, give him a call. He might actually do it. And he's a local veteran-owned business.
Yeah.
Service-disabled veteran-owned business, no less. And so Now we are up and running with our laundry service at 309 Bay Road, Queensbury.
That's incredible. So it's the business is kind of twofold, right? It's for your rags that you're using for the cleaning side, but then it's also for people to be like, hey, can we drop off this stuff?
we also found that Airbnbs had a lot of laundry, and that's a big problem in the area.
Oh,
is Airbnbs.
I was going to ask, like, who are your clients so far? That makes sense.
Yep. We've done hundreds of pounds of laundry so far, and we haven't really been really open yet.
Yeah.
And it's mostly been Airbnbs.
Okay.
The real problem is you can send, 3, 4, 5 bodies to an Airbnb, turn it over in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody takes their thing and they work together,
Yeah.
and it's really great. And then you're sitting waiting for laundry.
Yeah.
And you can't go any farther because you have to make beds.
Yep.
And you got to reset the towels. So we started taking our Airbnb laundries to the laundromat.
Okay.
So we could avoid that problem.
Yeah.
And since we had that problem, we decided to implement a solution.
That's it.
We spent a bunch of money.
As you do when you're a business owner.
Shout out to Pursuit. Thanks for helping.
Oh, great organization for small business lending. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And now we are rocking and rolling.
That's amazing. This is an exciting time. And I know that, so much work has gone into it, but I feel like you're the right person to be doing this kind of work and expanding like this.
Thank you. Yeah, I always felt that there was something I could do better.
Yeah.
And, again, so my head doesn't get too big, but I feel like I've done a good job. I've got Grime fighters who love their job, and that's kind of a thing to do. It's a cleaning position.
Yeah.
They're, at the end of the day, we're still scrubbing toilets. It's not the most glamorous job, but it needs to get done.
Yeah.
And it needs to get done well because it's important.
Absolutely. And, there's a certain level of pride involved in that, right? Like, personally, I know the work that I do, when I feel good about it, I can then go out into the world and do better things, right?
Yep.
And what you're doing for businesses and residents, too, is getting their home or their business up to par, up to that level of satisfaction that they're expecting, right? Yeah. It's a big part of it.
I started my own residential service, so we get our house cleaned every week.
Yeah.
And it's really in the name of training, right? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes you don't see the mess that got missed until a few hours later when you decide to go do this or whatever. So that has been an integral part of our training process is cleaning the homes for our managers.
Yeah.
And so we can see, and just coming home at the end of Monday and having a nice, clean reset for the week, it is such a good start. I wish that everybody could do it and not just because I'm selling the service.
Sure. But it's almost priceless, really. Yeah. Like, I know the feeling when you come home and you cleaned, like, maybe before you left, right? You did the dishes, you made your bed and everything before you left the house. You come home at the end of the day and it just feels good to know that it's pristine, it's how you left it. Yeah. So, to hire someone to do that, even better. Save me some time and some effort. And
that's the thing, in today's age, we are doing more with our lives than has ever been done before. Mm-hmm. And, we've specialized in a lot of different ways, so it makes sense that there is a specialized cleaner. Mm-hmm. You do what you do. You go out and you live the way that you need to live and do what you need to do. Yeah. And all of those things take time, and to have that little bit of time left, it was probably a year into the business I realized that I wasn't actually selling cleaning. I was selling the headache. I was like a Tylenol.
Yes. Right?
I'm getting rid of this headache for you.
Yes. And giving you some time back, whether you want to spend it with your kids, your dog, your grandparents, whatever, right? That you have that time back.
Yeah.
That's truly valuable. Definitely.
That's the most important thing is family. Yeah. My daughter, Lindsay, is quite a person. I like to joke that there's way too much personality packed into that little body.
Right. It will serve her well. It will. Yep. She's going to make a difference in the world.
As I was growing the business, I realized that I wanted her to learn that she can go out and be an entrepreneur, or
Yeah.
she can be a teacher like her mother,
Yeah.
or any other job. But I wanted to show her how to be an entrepreneur. And I figured the only way to do that is to do my best to learn myself so I
Yeah.
can teach her.
Absolutely. Lead by example.
Yep.
She's watching her dad go to work every day. Probably gets to hear really cool stories.
Yep.
Sometimes she comes to ribbon cuttings, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's fun.
And she even got the honor of cutting the ribbon at my first ribbon cutting
There
a few
you
years
go.
ago.
Yes. Yes. Which is a great segue, Kris. It's like we planned this to talk about your ribbon cutting coming up.
Yes, we're really excited. We schedule it for a Friday, June 26th at 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Everybody listening to this is welcome to come.
Come party.
I am going to be grilling up some burgers. We got some Amish meat that's coming.
Nice.
Mennonite, sorry. And we're going to have some fun stuff to do for the kiddos. We're going to have some face painting. I'm pretty excited about that.
That's super cool.
Yeah. It's a way to say thank you to the community.
I love that.
You guys have supported us every single day. There's been some bumps in the roads, and, we're not always perfect, and sometimes we mess up, but as long as we have an opportunity to fix it, and that's, going back to, I have the opportunity to be able to say, yeah, that wasn't right, but here's what we can do to remedy it.
Sure.
And that happens. It doesn't happen often, but it happens. And
Absolutely.
we're able to fix it.
Yeah, that's really cool. We're excited for the celebration. Your business, again, has been growing. I got to know, because I know you're a thinker. The gears are always turning, right? So in your wildest of dreams, where do you want to see White Glove Service in the next 5 to 10 years?
I would like to see White Glove Service as the QC entity for other services.
Okay.
As I'm coming up with formulas for how to do everything, and this is definitely the fun part is coming up with the formulas and coming up with the systems and making sure everything is covered all the time and having the right people in place. I'd like to see a White Glove Service for everything. I'd like to see a White Glove lawn service, a White Glove anything service, really.
Right. Anything to give people their time back and get rid of those headaches.
There's a lot of similarities between a lot of the service industries, and I don't have the expertise to do a lot of them. But I would be able to grow people who would be in charge of those different services. And it would be something like a licensing agreement where you could use the White Glove name, the White Glove branding, and I can even show you, mentor you into what you need to do to run a business like I'm doing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then more collaboration.
That's paying it forward too, Kris. I mean, I'm sure you've realized this. Earlier in the show, you talked about doing these YouTube master classes, right? You were learning from someone. And now what I see is you gearing up to get yourself into a position where you can now pass on that knowledge that you have gained, those leadership skills that you've been working hard on. That's really cool. It is.
Thank you.
It's like a full circle thing, right?
Yeah. At the beginning, I relied heavily on the chamber to help to get businesses, to grow my businesses, to grow my business. But now it's let's see what we can do for others, and it kind of always has been, because that's the way to grow, is to grow everybody else. But I want to do more of that. So I'd like more time to do even more chamber stuff, and I'm
and really give back.
Currently sitting as the vice chair on the Veterans Business Network, which
really
has given me an opportunity to do a lot of cool stuff. We do the Veteran Suicide Walk every September, and that's important, veteran and first responders. We had a race day for veterans and first responders.
80K karting, super cool.
Yep. Again, we're supporting chamber members. We're growing our community. It was such a great day of camaraderie. Sheriff LaFar won. But he's kind of trained for that, and maybe next year we'll do better. But,
I love that. Yes, you got something to strive for, right?
Yeah, for sure. We don't blame him, but it's also good to know that the people who are in charge of protecting us know what they're doing.
Yes, absolutely,
yes.
Definitely. You are involved in so much. You've touched so many lives already, and you keep showing up, and we're grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you.
And here I am feeding the monster.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping, that listeners are inspired by your drive, your passion for what you do. And again, the way you show up. It's not always easy to be that positive force showing up every day, but you manage it. And I believe that you are experiencing the fruits of your labor. So
thank you. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little difficult. I think there was 2 or 3 times where I've quit and then, rolled over and got up and went to work.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all had those days.
You can have bad days.
Sure.
And it's just a matter of what you do on those bad days, whether you keep showing up or whether you give up, fold. When I started, I kind of thought to myself that the only way for this to ever fail is for me to stop doing it.
Brilliant. It's that simple, really, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no one's going to
Yep.
stop you except yourself. And as long as you keep going.
Yeah. If I can do it, then
That's
imagine what you all can do.
There you go. And that's the advice.
There you go. Boom, mic drop.
I love it. Kris, anything else you want to add before we end the show today?
Yeah. My first advice would be to start something, do something. It may take you a while to get out of your 9 to 5, but I definitely recommend it. So start something on the side. Start today. What kind of hit me was I wanted a shelf corp. Even if I didn't do anything, I wanted to start building business credit. Then I could say, I've been in business for this long, even though I didn't really do anything. And then by the time I got my original DBA and the bank account, then I got a credit card and I bought some cleaning supplies, and then I was in business, literally cleaning houses within a couple days of me starting this. So start something. Sweaty startup, do something hard that people don't want to do.
Sure.
And you'll do well. Do something that you can do that nobody else does, and just keep showing up and it'll be fine.
I love it. Great advice from an entrepreneur.
And then join the chamber, because that's my secret sauce.
Thank you for adding that part. I'll pay you later. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
But we appreciate you, Kris, in all the capacities that you serve, not just through the chamber, but in our community, truly giving back, truly making working for you a gift. And we wish you all the success.
I almost forgot.
What did you forget?
I forgot to shout out Kiwanis.
Ooh, okay.
Serve your community, do something,
I love
help.
that. Yes, volunteer. Get on a board. And make a difference in your community.
Yes.
I love that. That was a great ending. Thanks, Kris. We appreciate you. And that's all the time we have for today on I'm In with the ARCC. Be sure to tune in next week.